in this position here, you see how my wrist is straight? It's very common when you see people racking or holding a kettlebell in this position that their wrist is in some variation of bent backwards, right? So the way that you prevent that is these horns, these curvatures on the kettlebell right here, a lot of times we'll just grab a kettlebell handle the way we would a dumbbell. The habit of grabbing a dumbbell handle is you want to have your hand in the middle of the handle so the heads of the dumbbell are equally weighted, right? With a kettlebell, it's completely the opposite. You take your index finger and you slide it inside the horn, and then you're gonna try to seat. You wanna seat as much of the edge of your hand deep in there. So you see how it's at an angle on my palm? It's not, because if I'm holding a regular grip, it's across the callus pad of my hand. This is never good when you're trying to hold a kettlebell, because there's no way this can't happen. But if you take your index finger, you slide it up the horn, and then you push your hand, you're pushing your hand deep into the bell, and this is called the AOK grip right here. And this will show up maybe better on the video that I'm making for you. All right, when you rack that bell here, now it's still gonna put pressure on your wrist, but it's gonna be a much more sensible pressure, because if you look at a kettlebell, it's a cannonball. And like if you ever step on a marble that's on the floor, you know, a marble hurts to step on the floor because it's basically a round point of contact jamming up in your foot. A kettlebell is very similar. It's basically a round surface that's contacting a small surface of your forearm. It's like a giant marble being jammed into your forearm. So the way you minimize that is by this angle here. So the part of the kettlebell is actually kind of touching down. If I had a bigger handle, there you go. You feel that? And also, that's gonna, you see how you're cleaning that bell, and instead of it coming over the top of your knuckles, it's rotating around, landing with much less impact. As you're cleaning a kettlebell up to the shoulder, you never want your upper arm to separate from your body. Because once it does, if this happens, then you have to pull this thing back, and it's gonna, boom, it's gonna recoil on you. But if you have these short little T-Rex arms, because so your drop from the shoulder is with T-Rex, and then you're clean. You see how it should feel now like the distance that you're traveling is much shorter. Does it feel that way? Yeah. So it's a shorter distance traveled, and instead of it coming over the top or over your knuckles, landing boom, like a giant marble on the back of your wrist, it's rolling around with zero impact. Okay, then one final thing. As the bells get heavier or you start getting more tired, the landing still might get heavy. One of the best things I learned from a different organization was, instead of this kettlebell, this is where the kettlebell is touching your hand is an axis of rotation. So if you can look at that axis as two things. If you maintain this relationship, your grip on the bell, it's gonna act as a hinge, bam, and there's no way you can prevent that. But if as you're T-Rex elbowing this thing, so you have this short little arm right here, and as the bell is momentarily weightless from the energy you've generated with your legs, instead of you maintaining your grip, you actually shove your hand. So your hand, instead of the kettlebell moving around your hand, in that moment of weightlessness right here, your hand moves around the kettlebell. Does that make sense? Yeah. So you're actually and what really helps with that is to hold it in the long hooks of your fingers, because in kettlebell sport, Those guys, they never, they don't death grip kettlebells. Kettlebell sport guys, they hook them in the long hooks of the fingers, and that gives them a lot of space now when they clean to sneak that, so the hand rotates around the bell rather than the bell rotating around the hand. And then you keep your T-Rex and you know where to put this. Whenever you look at if you have this diagonal, you're good, okay? Okay, I'm gonna have to go, Dave.
This was awesome, Bill, thank you. I'm gonna try to sign up for next Friday.
Right on, bro.